Radio. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to House in the Car Super Series Tuesday. My name is Stephanie Milburn. I am your chair. I am joined today by our campaign manager, Miss Erica Rawls, and we have a special guest with us today, our real estate professional, Miss Ursula Bell, guys. So just give a warm virtual welcome to all the ladies on the virtual stage today, but I want to just give you a little backstory about today's episode. So today we'll be discussing cruising with your real estate expert when it's time for you to shop for your house. So in the first episode, we began with navigating your route. Then we moved on to the second episode where you got your green light to go shopping. So we had our mortgage expert on last episode, and today we have our real estate expert. So Erica, I'm gonna let you introduce Ursula.
Yes, we're so excited to have her here on this Super Series Tuesday. She is from Florida area. She concentrates in Tampa, as well as she's going to tell us the other city she concentrates in as soon as she gets in. She's actually also part of the National Associate Real Estate Brokers, and we're excited to have her here. She's on the executive board to represent the realtors and give us some insight on how to select your realtor and the things you need to talk about. So Ursula, welcome.
Hi, hello everybody. Thank you, Erica and Stephanie, for having me on Super Series Tuesday. I'm excited to be here, guys. But again, my name is Ursula
We are
Bell.
excited to have you.
Yes, we are.
Well, thank you, thank you. So again, I'm Ursula Bell, and I'm unlocking doors to home ownership here in Tampa, Florida. I service Wesley Chapel, Riverview, which is south of Tampa, Ruskin, all those areas. Every area except for Clearwater and St. Pete. Okay. And I'm with Oracle Homes.
So I'm glad to be here as your realtor to give you some pointers on how to select the best realtor for you. So ladies,
Ursula is also a House in the Car ambassador, guys. So let's not forget that she is also a House in the Car ambassador.
yes, I am. You know what, I meant to say that too. But thank you, Stephanie, for reminding me that I am an ambassador.
Your list gets longer and longer and longer.
I know I can't keep up. I really can't. But it's
That's
good.
that
I'm excited.
professional there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys,
Ursula, this market is really, really crazy right now for our buyers, especially. So why don't you walk us through a scenario where your buyer is ready? Well, actually, let's go back a little bit. I know we wanted to talk about how to go about finding your real estate professional. So give us some insight on that.
oh yeah, absolutely. So I know Stephanie and Erica had already mentioned that you guys have your pre-approval letter in hand, which is the most important tool that you will need when you're on this journey. So once you get that in hand, we actually you need to find well, you can find some referrals for real estate professionals through your sphere of influence. So I say like family members, friends, co-workers, you want to ask them if they know any realtors and get their names and numbers. And once you get those in hand, I would say probably about 3 or 4 realtors, you want to have in hand so you can find the best one that fits you. And then after you do that, I would say to do a little research on them, behind the scenes. Check out the Facebook page, the Instagram page, if they have that, their website. You pretty much can just Google their name. Because you Google the name, things just pop up. And just click on it and, just see if you see anything, any information that you can find out about them. Like for me, I have on my page, I have like buyers that I work with. I have interviews that I've done with them through the home buying process, how they felt about it, and all that good stuff. So I would say to do research on, background on them, and then narrow it down to the ones that you all will be interested in connecting with. And then once you do that, then it's time for that interview.
Yes. But before you start, one of the things that I like that you said is they should do their research. So we focus on millennials, even though we like to provide value to everyone that looks at our shows on House in the Car. And one of the things that millennials do best, they do their research. So for realtors that are looking, I mean, if you're listening to us right now, you should make sure that you take the time out to complete your bio, give some background information as to what value you're going to provide, the services, the areas in which you focus on. And do you work with first-time home buyers, luxury buyers, move-up buyers? It's okay if you don't work with a first-time home buyer, but you should actually specialize in something, right? Work with a buyer or with a seller. So I just wanted to point that out when you were talking. I'm like, that's great. Because a lot of people miss that point. They think it's about just showing houses. No,
Oh, no.
Yeah. So.
Oh, no. It's more than that. It's more than just showing houses. That's just how they glorify it on TV. They make it look all glamorous on the TV too, but it's much deeper than that.
Yes, that's a whole episode. Yes.
And I want to piggyback off of what Erica said. One thing that I learned is a lot of the millennials, they're checking your social media. So when she said do your research, they're going straight to the social media to check you out. They're checking these hashtags, and that's how they are finding some of the realtors. They're looking through your hashtags. So if you're a realtor out there and you're doing advertising and you want to appeal to millennials, make sure that you're using hashtags that are effective in bringing someone to you as a lead.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a witness.
Yes, I'm just learning that myself because I'm old school, real old. I mean, back in the day, we didn't have all this internet and stuff. So this is some new stuff for me that I'm learning. I'm like, oh my goodness, I better step up my pace up in here because these millennials, they are no joke. Okay? They're gonna keep us on our toes. I'm serious.
Yes.
I love it.
So we're going to do that interview, and I call it a buyer's consultation. I find out things about you, and then I want you to find out things about me. So you need to have some questions prepared, so you can ask the realtor, a real estate professional, everybody not realtors. You want to make sure, let me just say this. You want to make sure that you deal with a realtor. Okay, with this pen. Let me see. Can y'all see my pen? Let me move up a little bit.
Other side. Move over. There you go.
Bam. There we go. So the realtor pen, that means that I'm a board of the National Association of Realtors. And we have to pay dues every year because we go by a strict code of ethics. Okay, and we take a pledge. We take a pledge to make sure that we're going to provide the best service to you guys. Because if we don't, you can complain to the board, and we don't want to know what happens after that. Okay, there's a lot of fines and all kinds of stuff that can go on with this. So we take it very serious when we become realtors. So look for that big R. See, this camera confused the crap out of me. There we go. The R, guys. All right. All right. So you can ask them that question too, because they actually can't call themselves realtors if they're not a member of the board.
True.
So, okay. So we're at the buyer's consultation. You got your questions that you want to ask. You want to make sure that you write this stuff down so you do not forget. Okay. So at the buyer's consultation, as a realtor, I will ask you guys if you have your pre-approval letter, because I'm gonna go over it. I want to make sure you understand the type of loan that you're getting. If it's FHA, a VA, conventional, regular conventional loan, I want to make sure that you understand that and let you know what the market looks like for whatever that particular loan type that you have. Okay, so it's very good to have that letter with you. Okay, you don't have to give it to me, just have it.
Right. So Ursula, too, you find that with the type of mortgage that they have, their home buying strategy is totally different compared to FHA to conventional, and how you actually approach your offers, especially in this market. So that's great.
Yes, especially in this market. You have to set the realistic expectations when you're having that buyer's consultation, because when you leave there, you're going to know whether or not this is a realtor that you want to deal with, and the realtor is going to know whether or not this is a buyer that they want to deal with. So both people are making a decision at that particular time, before you leave there. So we go over those types.
You know what? I just want to interject a little bit, Erica. That's a good point when you're distinguishing between the type of loan that they have, whether it's FHA or conventional, because a lot of the recent homes will list whether they even accept that type of financing, and that will narrow your choices for your buyer. Because I have one that's right now that's approved with an FHA loan, and some of the homes that we're looking at, they're not FHA available until July or August. So that is something that, and I like that Ursula said, you need to set that expectation with your buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I'm coming up with a new strategy when it comes to the FHA, because some of the sellers are a little hesitant to take a FHA loan or even a VA loan sometimes. So what I'm coming up with now is I'm looking at a different program when it comes to FHA. So if they qualify for FHA, then they may qualify for this 203K loan package that they have now. So some sellers don't want to take the FHA because there may be some issues with that roof or the AC or something like that. So they're like, no, I'm not doing any repairs, because in this market, they don't have to do nothing, no repairs or anything. So if you have that 203K loan, even though they are saying that we're not going to take FHA, because they know in the background why they're not taking it, you can just you ask why are you not taking the FHA?
Yeah.
If it's because of that roof having an issue or AC, or it's a lot of repairs, you just say, hey, no problem with that. My buyer can get a 203K loan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you may be able to get your buyer in the door by knowing the reason why they're not taking the FHA or VA. So I wouldn't just totally rule it out. Just find out the reason why they're not taking the FHA loan if you have FHA. I don't want the buyers to think, oh my God, I got an FHA loan. It's gonna be hard for me to get a house, and blah 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 blah. No, 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 no.
You're really showing how important it is to make sure you have the right realtor for not just this market, but any market, but more importantly, this market, because having the right conversations when you're even presenting your offer to your colleague across the table is important, because that's going to make or break whether or not how long you're going to be in this home buying process, how many offers you actually want to lose. Because you're able to, if you need someone that's going to be able to articulate, hey, this is an FHA buyer, but guess what? They may have gotten fully underwritten. So it's just the same thing as having cash, because people say, oh, well, cash, we lose because it's a cash offer. That's because maybe, the person that you're partnering with is not communicating to the person that they have to in order to convey properly, hey, this is my buyer's stance. They have FHA. They're fully underwritten. They're approved. Cash disappears. It's not guaranteed until you get to the closing table, right?
That's right.
And as a result of that, it's just as strong as this FHA buyer, with the exception of appraisal. So yeah, just having those conversations. I'm sorry, I went in the weeds a little bit, but I was just thinking about that as we were talking. Having those.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. That's the difference between an experienced realtor and an inexperienced realtor. Because the longer you've been in this game, the more different scenarios you have ran across. So you're able to kind of see a buyer sitting in front of you that you may have dealt with before. Even though we have a little bit of a difference, but you can have a starting path on it, when you know exactly what you're dealing with. So it's important to communicate with each other.
Definitely important to communicate. So Ursula, after your buyer's consultation, walk us through the process. When you've given your buyer all the information, they're ready to go and say, okay, hey, Ursula, you know what? I've seen 5 properties that I think I'm interested in. I'm ready.
We're ready to go. So what I typically do is I meet the my customers at the home, because I just think it's better that way. So if they have someone with them, they can be free to talk really honestly with each other about what they just saw at a home. Sometimes they're a little hesitant when they have you in the car with them. They don't want to, speak candid about, what they just saw, what have you. So I like them to be by themselves so they can discuss whatever. And then, when we get to the next house, I ask questions. But once you get those houses together and you're ready to meet the realtor at those homes, I definitely ask for my buyers to have a notepad with them. I have the listing paper myself in hand when I go, because I'm going to write notes on it. But I ask them to bring a notepad with them so that they can jot down any notes that they may have in reference to the different homes that they see. Because the more homes you see, the more confused your mind is going to get. So if you want to remember what you saw in the first house, you need to write down everything that you like about it, and then some of the things that you may not have liked about it. Okay. And that is like when we're like in a regular buyer's market, you have time for that type of stuff. But in this fast-paced seller's market that we're in, it don't matter what you don't like. Okay. We don't focus on what you like. Okay? Because we don't have time to be picky right now. Time is of the essence. Okay. So you just go through the homes and look at everything. And what I do when I go in the houses, we don't just look at the glitz and glamour of things. We're going to look up in the ceilings. We're going to turn on the water. We're going to make sure that when the water's running, we're looking underneath the cabinets to make sure we don't see any leaks going on under there. We're checking the doors. We're checking the windows to make sure the windows are going to go up. There's a lot of things that we're looking at versus just, does it have hardwood floors? There's a granite countertops in here. Those are obvious things that we can see. So we want to look for the things that we can't see that's not going to be obvious for us. So I take them through that process and walk them through. I'm pretty much educating them as we're going through. So you want to make sure that you're with a realtor that knows how to look for things that you may not see. because we go in houses all the time. As a matter of fact, when you walk in the door, you need to take that sniff and see if you smell anything funny. Okay. Because you can smell mold, you can smell certain, things to let you know there's some things going on in here.
Yeah.
You do not want to buy a house and come to find out there's mold growing somewhere, because we do have home inspections and everything done, but even sometimes they miss stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to just look. You want to make sure that you're examining this house like you're a doctor. Okay. Examine his patient.
And I would assume that Florida, just like the state of PA, they have some type of disclosure that the seller has to provide.
Mm-hmm.
Any material.
Yeah, they do have disclosures.
Yeah.
But it's not a must anymore. The seller's disclosure, they don't have to have it with the contract anymore. I always ask, because when I first started real estate, we had to have a seller's disclosure when I first started. So it's just something that I'm accustomed to. You'd be surprised. Some of these listing agents, they take property and they don't even ask for a seller's disclosure. They don't even have a seller's disclosure filled out. It's crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, you definitely want to get the seller's disclosure. And just because you have a seller's disclosure don't mean that the seller don't disclose everything.
That's true.
That is.
So they can always say, "Oops, I didn't remember that."
Yeah.
Amnesia, kind of come in at that particular time.
Right.
If you have something that they didn't put on that paper.
And what do you say to your buyers? Okay, you're at the consultation, you finished it, and you're showing them the houses. At what point do you tell them, okay, so are you the type of realtor, or do you recommend realtors like give an expectation how long it's going to take in their home buying process, as far as how many houses they may have to see, how many offers they may lose, or what they can expect as far as how strong their offers have to be? Like, could you walk us through that conversation that you have with your buyers, even while you're showing the properties, and then when you're writing the offers? Like, what does that look like? What should they be expecting? A buyer should be expecting.
Yeah. Well, with a realtor, what we usually do is, before we even go look at those homes, because we all know that a house can show active in the MLS. It doesn't mean that the house is still active. They can have a contract pending. They just waiting on a signature to come through. So I always call the listing agent to make sure that the house is available. So my question is always, is the house still available, and are there any offers on it?
Before you even go looking at the house.
Before I even go look at the house, I want to know if there's any offers, because that's going to tell me if I'm going to have competition right then and there. So if I have any offers on it, then I'm going to definitely convey that to my buyer to let them know, if this is a home that you're interested in, then we need to move on it. And this is what, I think that we should maybe talk about offering, and considering these could be the options. And these days, folks are going over asking price.
Yeah.
They're taking out contingency clauses. They are putting in exclamation clauses and all kinds of things. So you just at that time, when you know how many offers, you set that expectation. Right.
So Ursula, let me ask you this: would you suggest to put in an offer before they see the house, because of the volatility in this market?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I will do a virtual. I would do the virtual tour, and ask them if they want to look at that, if they're familiar with the area. Sometimes I say just ride by, just to get an idea of the surroundings of the area. If we can't get in at that moment, then I would say, ride by there. We'll write an offer on it real quick, because you can always get out of there if you want to. Do the home inspection and all the other stuff. If you don't really like it, you'd be like, I don't want it. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes it's warranted. If you have a buyer that's out of town, they're not going to be able to make it here in time. By the time they fly down here, that house is gone. So I have gone into homes and videoed them myself and sent it to them. I've done that. I've had buyers buy houses unseen. They haven't even seen the home. It depends on the scenario. Let me just say that. Depends on the situation.
Right. I mean, I can definitely see that going on right now because it's such a seller's market, and we're having to deal with multiple offer situations on any resale home that we show to our clients. So, I've suggested that to a few clients. Hey, let's put this offer in. We'll go take a look at it, but we want to be one of the first to get our offer in.
Absolutely. You have to be very strategic, very strategic in this market. Now, I've seen seller markets and buyer's market and seller market and buyer market, but I have never seen it like this.
Yeah, this is very unique. Very unique.
It's very unique. We got a lot of uniqueness going on.
Mhm.
It is. It really is.
Having the buyer consultation
So,
is huge. That's really important because of that. Because
Yeah.
it's a very unique situation. Just set the expectations. You're not, meeting with your realtor. Okay, you're signing the buyer agency agreement. You go shop.
Mhm.
You see the first house and you write on it, and you're done in 30 days. It's not really happening that way anymore. It's more like 3 to 6 to 9 months sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
It's taken a lot. And so that's why you need a good realtor by your side, because they're going to keep you pepped up, because it can get very frustrating. Finding the house to be the easiest part. But because we are in this type of market now, it's the frustrating part for some buyers, depending on the price point that they're in, And so, and the process itself, when you get under contract, is frustrating. So it's going to be very important for you to find a realtor that you mesh well with. Y'all personalities click with each other. Because you're going to be in this for maybe for a while. So you want to enjoy the person that you're going to be dealing with, and they have to keep you excited about that process, keep you up here when it comes to that
we've
process.
talked about buyers purchasing resale homes and dealing with multiple offers, getting your offers in, maybe sight unseen, and just doing the process like that because it's time sensitive and it's very urgent for them to get their offers looked at before someone else does, or even increasing their offer, going over list price. So how is that working out for a lot of your buyers? Is that working for them, or are you dealing with situations where you're losing out on offers? How's that working for you?
It's up and down. I can say my scale is like this. It's shifting because it depends on the price point that I'm in, because I specialize in down payment assistance. If I have realtor buyers that are in that particular program, that's going to give me that's going to be a little bit more difficult for me, because that with down payment assistance, there's a lot that comes with some of those programs. As far as the city does inspections and things like that. So you gotta set the expectation for the buyer to know that even though we're submitting an offer, it doesn't mean that yours is going to be accepted. It doesn't matter if we're going over a little, because you have other parameters that surround your particular offer. So it just depends on the price point. My scale is like this. Sometimes I get it, and sometimes I'm not getting it, because of the other things that are involved in the transaction. So if it's just cut and dry, they have the money, they have extra money for, to bring to the table, besides their closing costs and their down payment. If they have the extra funds, then we can go over and be confident that we can move forward with it. So those people, they're okay. But the other ones that are in a different type of price point, that's been a little bit more challenging for me.
Yeah, I found it difficult in a certain price point as well. So let's move on to new construction. So walk us through the process of getting your buyer under contract for a new construction home.
Well, new construction has been a little bit more easy than than the resales. It was. Let me just say that. Let me say was, because now that most of the inventory, the new construction is disappearing, now they're doing this thing called a lottery pool, where you put your name on a list, and once they are ready to do an inventory home on a particular lot, then if your buyer's name is right there on that list, then they will call you up. And guys, I'm just speaking of the current market that we're in.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in this market for at least another year.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that if you're purchasing a new construction home, the process may be a little bit more easy for you in a regular market. But we're not in a regular market. So we are in a seller's market, and it is here for a while. So even dealing with new construction, you still have to strategize with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a lottery pool. Okay, so you put your name on that list, and you better have that pre-approval in hand, because when they call your name, it is time for you to write that contract.
Wow.
And some of them are requiring deposits for you to even put your name on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so me being in Central PA, we don't have the lottery, but we do have situations with new construction with builders. They are allowing, like, typically you would put down a lot reservation for a property, for a piece of property that you want to build on, okay, land that you want to build on. And then you would have like 90 days to make a decision, figure out what home you want to actually build on that property. They're only given 3 days, and before they can no longer guarantee the price of the original house. So you have 3 days to make a decision now. And after 3 days, they can't guarantee that price is still going to be the same for that same floor plan. So that's how quickly the market's moving. And we should just say to our audience too, we're not looking to scare you at all. We're just looking to educate you and to prepare you, because it sounds a little scary, a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's really important to make sure you align yourself with a realtor, a professional realtor that understands the market and can explain it to you in a way that feels safe. But yeah, the prices are changing so much with new construction. It seems like it's just as frustrating or overwhelming as it is in the resale market now.
Right.
When you're like, oh, well, there's no resale, let's go new construction. Well, new construction saying, hey, I can't give you no guarantees you're going to get a house over here. Right? So it's just a matter, take a dose of patience, basically, is what it is.
You have to be very patient.
Yeah.
In this market. But I think that that's even good. Even I would take the 3 days. I would love for a builder here in Florida to have, you got 3 days to make a decision. We will take that. I would take that and run with it. Yeah. But the construction prices here in my area, they're going up really, really fast, much faster than they were, I would say, even 3 months ago. They weren't going as fast as they are now. So it's
same here, Ursula. Here in Texas, the new construction builder prices are going up either weekly, bi-weekly, and they're going up significantly. So they're going up between like $3,000 to $6,000 each week. So it's really, really imperative that your buyers understand what's going on in the market. So just like Erica said, it's not to scare you, but we are here to inform you and educate you so that you're not going out there alone, and your realtor is going to let you know, hey, this market is not like any other market. So even, in any other market, typically, yes, going to buy a new construction home is easy peasy, but not right now. So there, situations like Ursula said, they have a lottery pool. Here in Texas, we have a wait list to get on, and, same thing. They'll call you when that house is ready. And if, but by the time they call you, guess what? That buyer may not even qualify because they've already had a price increase.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Well, I don't know if you see this question. Thank you, Original, for being patient with us. As a first-time home buyer, how much money should you save up for a down payment?
Well, I would say to save as much as you can, because of course we all know that the type of loan that you get depicts what your down payment is going to be. So we know FHA is 3.5% down. And do understand that your down payment is totally different from your closing costs.
Yes.
So if you're not getting any down payment assistance or any of the sort, then you need to have it. I always tell my buyers at least 2 to 3%. I tell them high. I go high with it. 2 to 3% for closing costs. It ain't that much, but I tell them that anyway. And so we can have extra cushion just in case. You know, you never know. But you want to save as much as you can. And in this market right here, you're not going to get sellers concessions. Not over here in
It's
Florida.
very difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah. Your contract won't even be accepted. They looking at you saying, you want money? Nope. People are giving me more money. Why am I going to give away my money? So it's important. If you don't have much, you save as much as you can. That's what I would say. Yeah. Thank you for that question, Original.
Yeah. And you answered the one question that they had. Do you think the market will be like, do you think the market will be like how it is right now, 9 months from now?
Oh, absolutely. It probably be worse. Now, if they lift this ban that we have on foreclosures and
scaring the people.
I'm not trying to scare you, but let me say this. Now, it depends on where you live. So I know here in Florida. Yeah, here in Florida, in my area, the inventory is very slim.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting on them to say, listen, start foreclosure procedures and all that great stuff. Because see, once they start those procedures, those are homes that's going to pop on the market. Because they don't even have to go in foreclosure now. Because they can put the house on the market and get exactly what they're asking and more for it.
Yeah.
Okay. They can get from under a house and walk away with a profit right now. So I look at them lifting the ban as inventory for us.
Right.
Okay. So I would say in 9 months.
I hear a lot of people coming to me. Yeah, I hear a lot of people coming to me asking, do we think there's going to be more foreclosures coming up within the next year or so?
Yeah, well, if it stays a seller's market, there's no need for the house to go in foreclosure.
Correct.
Just put it on the market.
Correct. That's what I was going to say.
Right.
You know, the reason why back in 2008 and 9, the reason why the market was flooded with a lot of foreclosures and short sales is because you had the predatory lending going on where people had these adjustable rates. And so they were like all underwater with the properties. Right. They couldn't afford it. Once the rate hit, they couldn't afford it. So they had no choice but to go in foreclosure or short sell the property.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but with the market the way that it is now, we don't have any inventory. So you put that house on the market, you're going to get exactly what you're asking, pay off what you owe, and then walk away with some coins.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a fellow person in the audience. Thank you, Shonda, for your comment. It is very slim in PA and New Jersey. So I'm in Central PA. We have 0.9 months of inventory. So it's less than a month.
You do?
Less than a month of inventory.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's in Dauphin and Cumberland counties. So the other counties in Pennsylvania, I don't have my pulse on those markets, but yeah, we have 0.9 months of inventory. So if no other house went on the market, we less than a month, all houses will be absorbed, purchased.
Wow. Okay. How long is it taking the construction, the builders to build? Or have they been affected by the COVID?
They have. Now the waiting list, I haven't heard that one. So maybe, they're taking reservations as long as there's lots available, but you have to make a decision within 3 days because they cannot guarantee that price. So that's what we're
see, and I'm like Ursula, we'll take the 3 days over this lottery pool and this wait list any day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because the building process is a little bit delayed here in Florida because they're talking about being able to get the material, here because of COVID. I'm not understanding that because I thought everybody was going back to work by now.
Yeah.
Put your mask on and go work,
Right.
It's delayed here as well. Like one of my new construction buyers went under contract February 15th, and they just started construction on her home last week.
What? Was
Yep.
it permit issues or just was the material for the foundation? to
It
get
was
started?
permitting. It was permitting, getting the materials. Matter of fact, the builder had to change some of the items that they carry in their design studio because
Right.
materials are not even available anymore. So luckily for her, everything that she chose was still available. Most of those things that she chose, the new buyers won't be able to choose those items. So yeah, it was permitting and just getting the materials in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
6 to
Well, you know, here they're just picking. They done took the design center away. So you're gonna get what we give you.
9. Good for y'all folks in Florida.
We have tons of people migrating here to Florida on a daily basis. Everybody wants some of the Sunshine State. Everybody wants the no tax here. So that is partially the reason why we don't have much inventory
Mhm.
because we have people moving from up north coming down here to this area. And that is making everybody go bonkers with these outrageous things that they're saying. So you can't pick your things now. And some of the builders, you're not able to do it.
Wow. Original, I really love your questions, and I'm curious to know where you're located because we would love to be able to assist you further if we could. We'll get you connected with one of our ambassadors because depending on where you live is going to determine this the answer to this question. Is it a good idea to find land and build a new home? So
Yeah, definitely it's gonna be geographically inclined to answer that question. So yeah, original Lexi, let us know where you are from, and that way we can get an answer to you and have one of our ambassadors reach out to you. So guys, you have heard some of the good, the bad, and the ugly of
who knew that was the
purchasing
show?
your resale home.
Virginia. Oh, we have great people in Virginia. Stephanie, we got to get them hooked up with someone in Virginia. So we could definitely do that offline for you, okay? Thank you so much for watching. And
Absolutely.
share this with your friends. Go ahead, Stephanie. Yes.
Absolutely, we sure will. So yes, you have heard the good, the bad, and the ugly of going out, looking at homes with your realtor and putting in your offers, deciding whether to purchase a resale home or to go with new construction. So guys, all around the world, it's a little bit difficult either way you go. So just be mindful of choosing the right realtor to work with so that your process can be as stress-free as possible. So Ursula, do you want to give some closing remarks?
Yeah, I want to say this to the buyers. If you're in the market right now, currently, and if you're in one of the cities or states that the inventory is slim, please be mindful of what you should and should not expect when you're wanting to purchase the home. I know that a lot of us would love to have everything that we can think of under the sun in our homes, but you're going to have to compromise. You're going to have to compromise a lot. So please figure out exactly what is most important to you when you're going to look for your house now. Because just think about it. If it doesn't have the type of cabinets that you want, it doesn't have the granite countertops or what have you, but it's located in that district that you want to be in because maybe you have children and there's a house that's there, but it's not all glamorous like you would want. Don't be so concerned about it right now because you can change those things. You can change those things later. It's the most important thing for you to do is to get in the house now. Trust me on that because the interest rates are going up. They are not going to go back down. And if you wait and wait and wait, it's going to cost you more money in the long run. So if I can say anything, I would stress to you all to not be so concerned about the glam, the glitz and the glam of the home. Okay, just find you something. If you're able to get that deal, go for it. Okay, and make sure that you're dealing with a knowledgeable realtor that knows how to even write a contract. Okay.
I agree. And thank you so much, Ursula, for informing our audience and for joining our show today. I do want to just piggyback off of what she said and just let you guys know that, yes, time is of the essence, and make sure that you're working with a knowledgeable realtor, and be sure to have some patience in this market, and make sure that you're planning, because this is going to take a lot of planning and strategizing to ensure that you're in the right home. And if you're a first-time home buyer, the first home does not have to be your dream home. So
Yes.
just like Ursula is saying, if the countertops and the cabinets are not to, what you dreamed about, don't worry about those things. Your first home does not have to be your dream home. You want to own some property, own some land, and start building wealth through home ownership. And then you can move on up like the Jeffersons and get that dream home that you like. But get in while the interest rates are low, because like she said, the rates are going to go up eventually. So you want to go in right now while the rates are still low. So guys, again, we hope that you have learned a lot today. We hope that you're continuing to follow our series, Super Series Tuesday, All Roads Lead Home, and stay tuned for our next episodes. Every Tuesday, we have something special for you guys. So next Tuesday, we're going to be back with Home Ownership Changed My Life. So that's where we're having our party. We're celebrating home ownership. So guys, tune in for us next week, and we'll be talking about how home ownership has changed the life of maybe someone that you know. So Erica, again, thank you for being an awesome campaign manager. Ursula, thank you for joining our show. Guys, we will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
See ya.
Bye.